Hey there everybody, welcome back to the channel today. Today we got something going on a little bit different. We are going to be putting some helper springs on the back of this F-150. This is a 99 F-150. It has 45,000 original miles on it. It's kind of my baby. I got a pretty sweet deal on it 10 years ago when I bought it. And when I bought it, it had 18,000 miles on it. And now it has 45,000 miles. So as you can tell, I don't drive it much either. However, when I do drive it, I like to haul a trailer or haul something. I'm usually moving something. Lately it's been the tractor, and the tractor's, you know, it actually pulls pretty well behind this truck. However, sometimes I'm pulling some larger things. If I have a full load on my dump trailer, or if I'm hauling something larger, it would help to have some helper springs. So I went online and did some research, and I found that some of the best ones are probably these Firestone Sport Rite. They're kind of a simple little helper spring. What they are, it's basically an airbag, so we're going to get into that. And I'm going to have to follow some directions today, I think, because I've never done this before. Never really messed with any type of suspension modifications. I put a body lift on a Jeep Wrangler about back when I was a teenager, so that was at least 5 years ago. Anyway, it's been a while since I've done anything like this, so we'll go step by step. In case you're wondering how to do this on your own, maybe you need a little bit of extra support in the back of your truck. This might help you out, so stay tuned. Alright, that should do it for these ear springs. The passenger side was a lot easier than the driver's side. The driver's side, on the inside of the frame rail, there's some brake lines and some wires you really have to be careful of. The air hose, I found it was pretty easy to put in. It's just like a push fitting, so that's kind of a nice little feature. Nothing to tighten, just a little push fitting. Brackets are pretty, they're pretty sturdy. Had to drill 4 holes on this side and 4 holes on the other side. That was the other thing on the driver's side. Very difficult to reach in there and try and get those nuts on the bolts, because there's not a whole lot of room to work with. This side, much easier, piece of cake. It only took me a few minutes to get this side on. Of course, by then I knew what I was doing too, and I had a lot of room to work with. So if you're going to do this job, you might want to start with the driver's side, because then you're going to at least know what to do. I got the wheel back on this side already, but as you can see, that's what it looks like. So the wheel is ready to go back on, and I'm ready to put some air in these things and test them out. Let's see, I'm going to say it's probably a 2-hour install for your average mechanic, but it might have taken me a little bit longer because I'm not the average mechanic, that's for sure. I got a few leftover pieces, so these are spacers in case I had like a leveling kit. I'm hoping, at least in the directions, that's what they claim to be, is spacers. So I'm going to assume that they are. I do plan on putting a leveling kit on, but I can add those later. It'll be pretty easy. So anyway, we're going to put the tire back on, we'll put some air in it, and we'll see how it looks. Alright, I put the hoses way back here under the receiver hitch frame rail here.
So that's easy accessible. Wanted to put them on the driver's side because got the lights here. I got everything on the driver's side that I need. So thought that would be easy. These are just valve caps that come off. And then we're going to put some air in it. We're going to see what happens.
Alright, so I figured we'll check out the before and after, and right now we're at about 36 3/4 inches. We're going to fill up those helper springs. It should lift up the truck a little bit, so we'll see what it does. Alright, I went with the manufacturer's specifications of adding about 50 pounds of air just to test things out and testing for leaks. The springs are supposed to be capable of holding 100, but we're not going to put in 100. We'll go with 50. And we had 36 3/4 before, so we're going to see what we have now.
Six and 3/4 to 38 1/4, so that's a nice 1.5 inches of lift. And as you can see back there, the spring is full of air, and I'm not hearing any leaks, so hopefully things went well. We'll give it the old bounce test, because that's always a true test of how things worked. Oh yeah, that's going to do it. That's really going to help a lot. I am really happy with that. So awesome. I'm going to take it for a test drive. We'll see how it does, just without a trailer. Oh yeah, all right. Well, I've had this truck for a long time, as I was saying before, and I got it for such a steal of a deal. Just a sweet deal. Probably the best deal I'll ever pay. You know, I'll just say I paid less than $10,000 for this truck, and it only had 16,000 miles on it. It's totally loaded. All right. Well, as far as 1999 goes, so I got a tape deck and everything, but it's got the leather and it's got the power, everything. Very great truck. I bought it as is. I really haven't done anything to it other than just add those springs. So, anyways, getting to the point. My option was I was gonna trade this truck in and get a bigger truck, but I'm not quite ready to get an F250. I want to get a 3/4 ton diesel truck. That's my next truck, but I'm not quite ready to get one yet. And actually, I'm hoping to get a 2017 or newer, just to have that aluminum body. Just less corrosion here in Minnesota. I think it would be better for resale and everything else. Someday I'll do that, but in the meantime, I want to keep this truck and add a few more miles to it. And it's a great truck. It's just it didn't have enough, enough spring in its step, basically. So adding these air springs is really going to help a lot. Now this is perfect. So I'm going to be able to tow some heavier trailers because it's got the big a 5.7 V8 in it. Plenty of torque. Terrible on gas mileage. It's not an EcoBoost like the new F-150s have. In fact, it's rated to tow less than the V6 EcoBoost F-150. So, I was thinking, am I going to get a new F-150 with the EcoBoost and, make do with that for a while? Of course, they're not cheap. So, instead of buying something newer than this, I'm just going to hang on to this. It's a great truck. So, that's the plan. That's why we got these springs. It's going to help quite a bit. If you're thinking of getting something like this for your truck, or if you're in the same predicament I am, you need a little bit more towing capacity, whether you have a dump trailer or whether you have a couple tractors and equipment and you're hauling some heavy trailers. This is going to be a good option, I think. I hope. I'm pretty certain. So, what they call Firestone Air Rite, and I think they were less than 200 bucks, so pretty good deal. Easy install, do it yourself. All right, you guys, thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, give me a like, and keep on tractoring. God bless.